All right. So I want to welcome everybody to this stone therapy for stress management, and I believe I need to mute people. Let's see, how can you please mute yourselves? Here we go, mute all. Very good. Okay, so what we're doing here is discussing the different ways that you can use gemstones for stress management. And I believe a lot of you are already practitioners. So I want to thank you all very, very much for sharing this time together. We're all in the same community group. And it's always nice to learn from each other. So I'm just going to share some of what I've learned and for you to add in with all of your Reiki and your other modalities that you use, okay? So the first thing that I wanted to go over is that we each have our own system of guides, and they are helping us in stress management at a time like this. However, guides also want us to grow and be proficient on their own. So these are some ways, when I was first working with my guides, they explained that I needed to go out and learn from other people because other people were experts in areas that I might not know about, and it's just an accumulation of wisdom. So hopefully you'll learn one or two things at this talk that you can apply in your own life. From my point of view, everything is alive, and even stones are alive. So when you're working with your stones, it's very important that you give them some R&R and you do some cleansing. And one of the things I suggest right now as you're going through this COVID period is that you take out your stones and you clear them. And then you take each one and sit with it, because the reason you got your stones is because they had some special meaning to you and some special function. Very often, as many of you know who are practitioners, you have a whole array of tools and you forget what they are. And you, when somebody reminds you, you can add that into your arsenal of how you can deal with stress. Stress we're looking at as an imbalanced situation where you're just not able to handle and integrate all of the energies that are coming at you. And the stones are very good grounding items for you to do that. So when you're going to clear your stones, the ones like amethysts and the quartzes and the agates, you can put on a base of salt and rest them there overnight. And then the next day you can rinse them off in the water, and they're nice and clear. And you throw away the salt so that the salt, you don't put something else in it, because that will leach back into the new stones. Then you have the softer stones like the tiger eye and the malachite, and they are, I'm going to just see. Kathy, are you there? Okay. The malachite and the tiger eye are softer stones. You don't want to rest those on salt because they will eat away at the stone. So those you're going to use incense on, or you're going to put out in the moonlight, or you're going to put out in the thunderstorm. One of the things that is very good to do is to do forest bathing. And that's going to be our discussion next week, is all the different aspects of how do you do forest bathing, the different ley lines, and what to do, how to forest bathe if you're not in the forest. But it's very good for stress management, as an aside to working with the gemstone therapy, to go out into the woods and to relax. That's very good for stress and gets all the endorphins moving. So when you are, when you're looking to work with your stones, all of us are at home now, and we're not working, and we need to have good product that we can work with. I suggest you go back to your stones and then come on into our website. And up there in our library, if you look up here, in there we have an area that's a crystal and gemstone dictionary. And that's a very thorough dictionary that we've set up. And please go in there and just click on a window on the stone and read some more about it and figure out why it is that you got that stone that's in your collection. And we also do have stones in our collection. And we try to keep those all at very modest prices so that you can add some to your collection if you need it. Now, when you're working with stress management, one thing you want to do is clear yourself, and you want to clear your home. And the way you would do that and clear the stones is through these various tools. And I bet you all have some of those in your array at home to bring out. We also have them on the website, and probably a lot of you have gotten them from us. But they include bowls that you can either hit with to generate a sound, or you can create a frequency. And what you want to do is go around your home and hit the bowl or tinctures if you have them. And if you don't have any of those, just take a pot and a serving spoon and go around your the corners, the ceilings, the walls, the middle, and just break up the energy. Just, you know, get there and break up all the energy and get the stress out that's pervading our culture right now. After you've done that, and you've gone around your whole home, then you want to take this energy that you've broken up, and you want to use incense, either a smudge bundle or an incense stick, and then you go back over each room in the corners and clear the debris that was broken up by the bowls and the sound, and get that out. And then finally, what you can do is you can do the same thing for yourself. You go over your own self from top to bottom with the bowls or the tinctures, and then come back in with the incense. And if you'd like to know more about smudging and how to do that for yourself, if you go into our website library, in our video area, we have a video on smudging that you can learn about. Smudging is also good for stones. And this is a quartz. And when you're working with stress management, when you're working with any energy work, each of you should have at least one nice piece of quartz in your collection. The quartz is like the shaman stone, and that stone can be used to represent any other stone in the mineral kingdom, because it's the core energy. Now, specifically for stress, you want to work with the gentle stones. If you go to a doctor, they might prescribe something with lithium in it. And the same if you go to a health food store. Those are very good to get a stress release remedy. But most of them or a lot of them have lithium in it, and these are lithium containing stones. This is kunzite. Kunzite is a natural source for lithium. And if you just have a kunzite piece that you keep in your pocket and you rub it during the day, that really helps to soothe you. Just the energies are transferred. Other stones in this of this kind are lepidolite, hiddenite, and these stones You can see on our website, there's an area called intentions, and in there is a place, one of the rooms is called stress management, and it shows you a lot of the stones that are very useful to have in your collection. And if you have it in your collection, haul it out, clean it up, and start to use it. Kunzite is also available as pendants. Here are 2 pendants. Now, a lot of you, we like to wear pendants and stack them, have a couple of different ones together. It's like a multivitamin that you can wear for different issues that you have. The kunzite will bring the lithium and the soothing qualities into the thymus area and the higher heart and into the heart center. And that just naturally moves into your energy field, and it helps keep you relaxed. And another way you can do that is, this is a kunzite bracelet. And if you keep kunzite on your wrist around the meridians, that helps to soothe the body as well. So you want to keep these natural stones around you. And if you have in your collection other stones that you got because you needed them for some reason, each of us is different. Each of us has a different energy structure and a different background. Bring them out and sit with them, clean them up, sit with them, see why it is that you relate to that stone, and help it to balance you. Balance is the key thing in stress management nowadays. Another way that you can do it is making use of ancient technologies. And back in the old days, old days, people were more knowledgeable about energy than they are recently. We're gaining that back again. But in Egypt, ancient Egypt, they had something called faience. It's usually turquoise, but it has other colors as well. And that faience is a resonant substance. And that resonance works to clear whatever field it's with back to a 0 point at the frequency it's designed for. And this is a white cream-colored faience piece, and that resonates at peace. It also resonates to protect from EMF. And EMF, if you've been doing a lot of TV and a lot of computer, you also want to take some breaks from that, because those are short field vibrations that can affect you if you're not used to it. So this is clear quartz with a resonant ceramic, and I like it. I usually wear that. And up here I have the ceramic in black, which protects from negative energies. So keeps you from feeling sad, whatever. And it also protects from electronics. So that's another way you can work. Now I want to get into, when you're dealing with stress, is stress comes down from the higher fields very often, and is coming in through your thought forms, through your emotions. And if you go up into the light fields, which is the area of sacred geometry, then you can deal with stress before it comes down into the physical body. You can harmonize your energies and balance them out. So some of us, some of the practitioners, ones who work with the angels and all, are familiar with just looking and seeing geometrics all around you. And those who can see the underlying structure of the universe and see how it's made of light fields that cohere, can see that sacred geometry, the really good core sacred geometry, is based on what some spiritual scientists can actually see. So one of the classic symbols for sacred geometry is the symbol for balance, the yin and yang, male and female, dark and light. and that's represented by the two triangles equilateral against each other. And then in the center is a point that represents the source of everything. So when you're looking to balance yourself, you want to use images and symbols and stones that resonate with this balanced energy. The reason why quartz is so important for this is that it is molecularly, its molecular structure is the star tetrahedron, which is this. So that it just naturally balances things. Now, just so you understand, a sacred geometry mandala is actually a code, and it indicates what the energy is, and it resonates with your energy field. People have used it for tens of thousands of years, and it's accumulated a lot of energy over that time. So here we have the symbol for creation, and then there are two circles of lotus leaves, lotus petals. And that's the equivalent in the Far East of the rose in the West. It's a symbol for realization and perfection. So this indicates that creation just is infinitely moving out in balance into the universe. So when you're working with this, you're working to help your own energy move out in a balanced way. Now, when we're working with the mandala, what you want to do is you want to stop the energy at a particular level, whatever level you are inspecting. So to do that, they put it inside a cube or a square. That's represented by this. You're stopping this energy to look at it. But all energy workers know you never want to get trapped in a field. So before an energy worker goes into space, they're always looking to see where the exit points are for getting out once they've come in. And in this case, you can go out through the center, but you can also go out through these are doors in the four directions. So this powerful code that's been used for 40,000 years and more represents working with energy. And what we are going to do in this case is take 4 peridot and a magnetite and put them on here to help you with stress management. Now, I'm putting these here to show you one way to do it, but I recommend that you take your own stones and you examine them and put them on a geometric. Either you can get a geometric from us, or you can download an image of a geometric from our website, one of the product pages, and put your stones on here or draw your own geometric. But here we're using 4 peridot with magnetite in the middle. Now, what this means is the peridot is a yellow-green translucent stone. So it's working with the green is the heart and the yellow is the solar plexus. It's a volcanic stone, and that means it was created in fire, and then it solidified into a cool, peaceful substance, which is the peridot. This is a stone that's highly favored by healers because it helps protect their energy while they're helping others. So at a time like this, when you have family around, when you have duties at home, you want to keep your field intact and peaceful while you're helping others. Now, you're putting it on a light field, but we want to anchor this all the way down into the core of Earth. So in the center, I've placed a small piece of magnetite. Now, that's a form of lodestone. And this lodestone is a very grounding, heavy mineral, and that drops energy down into the center of the earth so that energies can't get down underneath you and come up and cause you stress. So something like this you'd set up and you'd put at your desk, you put by your bed, and every once in a while you pick them up and put them back down again. And that activates them. Now, if you have stones of your own, place your own stones around here and see, because what you're doing with the sacred geometry and the stones is you're holding a specific energy. So there's an energy you need, hold it in place with the geometric. Very powerful way to protect yourself. Another way that you can protect yourself is to create elixirs that you can put into water. And then you drink the water because so much of us is water. So we have set up here an elixir that you can use for stress management. You can also use most of the stones that you have can be used as elixirs, but some can't, like malachite you wouldn't use, or lapis, or things like that. You'd want to use quartz as good balancing stones. So in this case, we've taken a lithium quartz, pink kunzite, and a piece of hiddenite with some green tourmaline in it. And hiddenite is green kunzite. So we have 3 stones that each have lithium in it that relax you in different ways. So if you're stressed out, you're relaxing your energy field. With that, we've added in the cream-colored catalyst bead. And what this bead is doing is resonating at a frequency of peace, and it's clearing. So it's keeping all these stones here very clear. Now, these you're going to put into a bottle, a glass bottle. That doesn't come with this kit, but get a one of the glass bottles that you use for regular drinking water. You put it in there and put it on the geometric and leave it in the sun for half an hour, and then you can pick it up and drink it. Now, in this case, what we've done is put it on a Sri Yantra mandala. And the Sri Yantra is very interesting because stress comes from a state of imbalance. Your natural state of balance has been pushed out by some worry. So what we want to do is to bring you back into balance. Now, the Sri Yantra is called Sri, the Most High and Honored Yantra, the geometric. And it starts out with 3 descending triangles. And that indicates what happens to spirit when it comes down into matter. It's focusing and coming down. So you in your everyday life are focusing and coming down into matter. But you can only go into matter so long before spirit needs to be referred to. And in natural course of everyday life, you always are seeking balance. The universe is seeking balance. So it starts to create upward going triangles. And these play against each other until finally they end up balanced in 2 equilateral triangles. So when you put this bottle on here, and you activate it, and then you drink it, you're bringing that activation in. For instance, right now, I have these stones in this bottle. And I just keep it near me, and I will sip it throughout the day, and that helps my own energy field. Lastly, the way that you can work, another way is to take an inspirational image that you have. Here we're using the mandala that's in strawberry fields in New York for John Lennon, Imagine all the world working all as one. And you can take a stone that is of significance to you and put it on that image. And the interaction of the image and the stone generates energy and helps the environment. You can also do that with your friends. You can take a photograph of them, and if you know they're a bit stressed out and you have a rose quartz or kunzite, place it on their thymus, their heart, or their solar plexus, or their third eye in the photograph, and help them just to relax. So those are some suggestions for you on how you can work with stones for stress management. And you can always pop into crystallife.com, and we're open 24/7, our website. We have a huge library with lots of really interesting videos and articles on different aspects of energy. We also have talk. So if you're looking through and you have a question, and we're at the store, and we're at the store from like 10 to 4, Monday through Friday right now. The store's closed, but we're filling orders there. Please come on in and ask questions or send us an email. And at this time now, I would like to answer questions. Laura, can I hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Do we have questions on the chat that we'd like to have answered?
Yeah. Maureen was asking if you can also use selenite to clear your stones. So I know we have the selenite logs, the slabs. That works, doesn't it?
The selenite log works. It's really wonderful. And you can use that. You can use quartz, you can use apophyllite, you can use kyanite, and place your stones on there and they clear. But what you want to really do is do a deep cleaning at this time when there's so much problems. And you can, let's see, you can put your stones on that, and that will help.
Okay. And Tara says she's looking for advice for stress of being able to sense many dimensions, realities playing out, and struggling, stepping forward, or feeling strong and stepping forward.
Would you repeat that one again?
Advice for stress, the stress of being able to sense many dimensions and realities playing out.
Very good. All right, this is one question that a lot of the people who find our work useful are empaths, and they're sensitives. And what you need to do most is to hold your field intact while you're exploring. Now, this is something that you learn over time as an energy worker, and if you haven't taken Reiki, that's a really good place to start. You can, they teach you a lot about how to work with your energy field and protect it with various geometrics and symbols. You can use the grid that we had with the Peridot. That helps to protect you. And then let me just think, I'm just going to focus 1 minute on Tara and see what I can do of interest to her. There is a difference between having an open heart and having a protected heart. And very often people in America, in the West, when they say be loving and open, they open up their whole heart, and that lets problems come in. So there's actually a way where you can create an energetic fiber over the heart that protects you from pulling in the imbalance, and it lets you stay strong so that you can help others. And you can do that by wearing a geometric over your heart, or wearing like a quartz or one of the stones, in this sense of frequency over the heart center that keeps you balanced inside and keeps you in your own field. One of the questions that brings up is last week's a practitioner, I'm not sure if she's on this call or not, but she said, asked a question about when she helps people and she goes out through the head and then comes back in, she has a headache. And what that happens from is when you're going out and you're exploring consciousness and then you come back, you're expanding your crown chakra and then you're coming back in and closing it down. And this difference between expansion to close, when it comes back sharply, it creates a headache for you because it's such a difference in frequency, our everyday society and out here. So again, that's a matter of just learning to know yourself and to protect yourself in the crown chakra, to come back slowly, to center yourself and come back and check your chakras that all your chakras are aligned. Okay.
Okay, and that was Diane, and she is here, who was asking about that last week. And she has a question. Can you place crystals under the bed of an individual who is stressing, or do you have to let them know you are placing the crystals under the bed? Do they need to be aware for them to feel better?
They don't need to be aware to feel better. And the issue you have is if they would freak out if they found them under the bed. You know, some people are closed-minded to the effectiveness of the crystals. So, and often what I do, I call it the husband factor, is, you know, dear, it's something I'd like you to try. It doesn't, you know, not going to hurt you. Just give it a try, and try to get their approval to just say it's not going to hurt you. Just let's see if it helps. If you have to do it, it would work, but it wouldn't be in the highest interest of the universe, you know, because it's not helpful to the poor stone who's absorbing in imbalances and trying to balance out, and it's not helpful for the person. Okay, is that a question?
Yeah, we have one more from Noelle. I have a bunch of ceramic beads that I bought years ago, and some are worn away. Are they still good energetically, or did they serve their purpose?
Is she talking about ceramic beads she got from us, the crystal catalyst, or just regular beads?
I'm not sure. Noelle, if she's there? Yeah, ours.
Ours. Okay, so they will work, but everything has a life. And sometimes, especially like our maroon and, any of the beads, if you use them over and over and over again, there comes a time when it's nice to return them to the earth. I'll bury them in a plant, I'll bury them outside, and I'll get a new set of beads just for the visual and just to help clear the energy, because everything, it clears, and they clear a long time, and I've had some for 10, 15 years. But when you use them well and they show it, return them to the earth and get a new one. They're not expensive.
Does that answer your question, Noelle? So if she just has to feel whether or not it's time.
Yes, yeah,
Herself.
Feel whether it is. And what I recommend is put them in a plant. And I certainly recommend one thing that you can do is put them in a plant for a while, and they may R&R. You know, everything in the world is alive. You know, a chair's alive, and everything comes from the one source. So it all contains frequency, and it all needs to rest once in a while. So give your beads a rest in the plant, help them energize the plants, and then see how they look in a couple of weeks.
Okay, I think that's all the questions, unless anyone had one more question to ask. It looks like that's everything from the chat.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody getting together. And next Wednesday, we're going to talk about forest bathing and working with the nature spirits and working with the earth energy grids. So look forward to seeing you then, and have a lovely week.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.